Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
That's
I
good.
am good. Can you guys see me?
No.
It
I'm not
looks
seeing you.
blank
I
on
thought it
my
was just
end,
me. Yeah, I
which
thought it
is
was just
weird
me.
because
Eh,
you were just seeing me literally like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
And we came back, and now all I see is darkness.
so weird.
Very weird.
Yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
here, let's try this. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Well, then.
I promise I'm
Gotta
not
love.
playing any tricks for season 2, guys. Like, we just tried this
Let's
out,
see. We're off
and
to a good start here.
we literally just tried this, and they could see me.
Oh my goodness.
All my fantastic glory. So
That
I have no idea what's going on. I'm a little sad
and
actually.
you're even frozen on your screen. I could
Really, I'm just seeing like
on
a
my
dark
yeah,
screen. Hope I
yeah,
wasn't like
on my
a
like
boogie or something.
lobby.
Just kidding.
On my lobby you're on my lobby you're frozen, which is weird.
Very weird.
Oh, there we go.
Did it work?
There she is.
Yeah, we see you, but you're frozen.
She's not
Hmm.
frozen to me.
Oh, there
Can you
we
see
go.
me now?
Yes, yes, you're moving. We're
Alrighty,
good.
yay! I'm back.
This is
I'm
a
back.
good.
Yay!
This is a good start. Like,
There we go. Much, much
All
better.
right.
Much,
How are
much
you guys?
better.
How are you guys?
Tim, you
I'm
want to go first?
tired.
I'm a bit tired as well. I
I'm
won't
tired.
lie.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a bit
Okay.
tired, but
but
I
I'm
am
well.
excited to be here and
Yeah.
to see you guys. It's been,
Too
how
long.
long has it been? Few
Too
months.
long.
We had a lovely summer break, I'd say.
We did.
Summer break. You like mid fall. We summer and fall. Like,
Not really. I mean, this
We're
is
still
when
when
we
in
was
fall.
our
started the
last?
show last
When was
year.
our last episode?
It was like midsummer.
Okay, but hang on a second though. Did you guys
Okay.
get the notification on Facebook today? Um, we made a post, or at least I made a post,
Uh-huh.
a year ago today that said we were starting the show. It would have been 1 year tomorrow
Well, I
that we
guess okay.
started the
So
show.
fair.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, hey,
Can
we're
we have
on
it
When you
par
like,
with
and
when
then
you
we
made it.
we're on par with when we started last year. Okay.
Yes, we are.
All right.
So
All right. Fair.
welcome back, Real Navy.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I can't sing, but you get it.
We can. Yeah.
Anything exciting happened to you guys over the summer slash fall, as Tim mentioned? Anything exciting going on in your lives?
Not really.
Nothing you want to disclose?
I got vaccinated.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's a
Okay.
big update
Yeah.
from when we
I
left
got
off.
vac- I
So
got va- I
Yeah.
got vaccinated. Yeah.
Do you have
okay.
two or just the one?
As of as of 2 days ago, I have two.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
getting my second one on Friday.
Wait, you got vaccinated?
Yeah, I had to. I had to.
Well, look at this.
If I want to play Pan, I need to be vaccinated.
Right?
There you go. They'll find a way to
It
get
was
you. They'll find a
I
way to get
know
you.
it was playing with my money.
Welcome to
Word.
the gang. Welcome to the vaccinated gang. But speaking
If
of
I
Pan, guys, over the summer we had
mhm.
a few gigs that the three of us
Yeah.
did
A
Yeah.
together.
few?
Yeah.
Is that what we're
Yeah.
going with?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going with a
Yeah.
few. We're going with a
Yeah,
few.
we
That's
did
what we're
some.
going with.
How many did we do? It was like three, I
We
think.
did a bunch.
Three or four.
It felt like a lot. It felt like a
It did
lot.
feel like a lot. It did feel actually. I think it was four. I think
I don't know. I just felt like we're
because
practicing and
we
playing
did the
Well, put it this
every
way.
virtual.
weekend.
Like
We did
taking the previous year into consideration, we did a lot of gigs.
we
Yeah.
did.
Do you know
We
what I'm
did.
Yeah.
saying? Like from
Yeah.
We
July
did.
1st, when everything kind of lifted, we were we
Open
were
for
going.
summer.
Yeah, we were going, and it was great. It was really
It
great.
was. It was.
It
We
was
had some
great.
pretty neat experiences. We did what? The Kerry West Lime, the virtual Kerry West Lime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, we did Heritage. We did
Mhm.
That little gig on 104th, that was pretty neat.
That was nice.
And the cocktails and drink was nice. But it was
that
was a
wicked
hot
day.
day.
That was a wicked
was a hot day. Yeah. But
Yeah,
it was
great.
good. It was good. We did have
was
some
good.
good
And
moments this summer for sure.
And we have one coming up, so we gotta talk about that off. Oh,
Which is the one
so
coming?
Tim.
No, I
Here
mean,
we go. Here we go.
Tim, don't do that.
You guys know how I stay until it's really close.
Oh man, guys.
Until it's close, I don't know. I'm
Welcome
sorry.
to our world.
I'm sorry.
Until it's close, or you mean like we're talking like day of like
it's the next week. Like the next week. I'm sorry. Like I'm working on it. I need a personal assistant. I do. I need a personal
Hey,
assistant.
Real Navy. Anybody want a job or a side hustle?
Now trust me, man. Somebody
Tim
help me
is
out. Like for
Tim
real.
needs
hiring.
a personal assistant, okay? Because we need to get him.
Yo,
Check.
but listen, at least I'm not triple booking myself anymore. Wait a minute.
That's good.
Yes,
That's
I did.
plus.
Yes,
I
I
was
did.
gonna say.
When we did.
Oh my god.
Okay, no, hold on. Watch. It was different. This one is different because there was other stuff. It was about my boy Raymond passed away, and so one of his tributes was on the same day as a gig, and then there was another.
Yes, I remember.
And then there was another. I had another gig, a church gig, on the same day, so I had 3 things to go to in the space of like. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Can you make it? Can you make it? I can make it. I can make it. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
We had some crazy like back-to-back days too, like gigs and then like events and so but it all worked out and it's a good time. So here we are.
Yep.
Here we are, guys. Here we are.
Mm-hmm. So Kiki, we said what was new with us. What's new with you?
Yeah.
What's new with me? Well,
yeah, Donahue, asking all kind of questions. You talk.
Hey, I'm just trying to catch up with my people and get Real Navy up to speed. Nothing new with me, honestly. Just still on the grind, working. Working lots and.
Are you still rocking? You still got 2 gigs?
Yes. Yep. Still rocking the 2 jobs for right now, and anything else that comes along. So. Yeah, but not a whole lot to mention, to be honest. There's not a whole lot going on my end, so I'm here,
Okay.
Danny, why you seem so sus? Like what?
Like, trust me.
She's just like she's waiting for me to like say something specific.
Yeah, Danny, is there something you know that I don't?
Like maybe you need to refresh my memory because I honestly did not know what it is that I am.
No, there's nothing.
Here, so.
There's nothing. I was just hoping. I thought you weren't telling me something that you want to tell everyone else, so I was just waiting.
Ah, okay. You wanted to know if I was holding out on some information until we all got together again.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot going on my end, so
All right. Well, we all lead boring, eventful lives.
I like the way you worded that. So.
Whoa! Speak for yourself, though. Like, you're gonna just throw me into like boring, uneventful.
Oh, yours is very eventful then.
What's the most eventful?
I got like 627 kids. Like, there's always something going on.
Wow. Okay. That number increased.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. What happened over the summer, Tim?
Right. Nick Cannon 2.0 over here.
Easy there. Like, relax.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Danny
So,
had a birthday
I guess
recently. That's I guess kind of recent.
That's new. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm a year older.
Woo! Thankful for another year. So.
Yes, thankful. Yeah, that's for sure. So, we're all caught up. I guess I should do our intro before we actually start.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So I know we have a lot of new followers, a lot of new viewers. So welcome to season 2 to Let's Be Real. Normally on the show, we talk about art, businesses, relationships, current events, issues that are happening in the Caribbean and African community. So throughout the show, we want you guys to ask questions, even post comments. The show is about you, about us. Let's all come together and let's be real. So, pew, 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 pew. So on that note,
Or goose.
I don't know if you guys know
this.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, Alberta, if you want to say, made some history recently during the elections. So I don't know if you know, Calgary elected the first female mayor, and Edmonton elected their first South Asian mayor. They both got sworn in. I think it was yesterday.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that.
So yeah, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. I couldn't get away from it. It was all over the news.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I think it's a good thing that we're stepping into a new direction. Do you think Alberta's ready for a Black mayor or an Asian mayor or
you know what?
a gay mayor?
I feel like we'll have to wait and see what these new mayors do, but I definitely think that they have sort of paved the way for future mayors down the road.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. I remember, I'll be honest, I did not vote. I voted for for the federal election, but I didn't vote for mayor. Which I probably should have, but initially they had like 12 candidates, which was like ridiculous. And I remember having conversation with a few people, and it's like, who do you vote for when there's so many candidates, you know? And I think coming down to the end of it, I think they were down to 10.
So did it go down to 10? I don't follow Edmonton very often, so I didn't know. Because I live out in BC,
at least that was my understanding, but I did not vote. But when the results came in, it was pretty cool, you know, to see some change. I don't know too much about their background. I do need to kind of follow up on that, but I did hear that the new mayor in Edmonton has like a lot of left views, I guess you could say, like on the political spectrum. So it'll be interesting to see what he implements during his time as mayor, and it'll also be interesting to see how he coexists with our current provincial government. I think that's going to be the main thing here, and what people are kind of waiting to see how they coexist. So that's what I'm interested in. But you know, overall, I'm sure there's going to be ups and downs along the way, but hopefully, you know, they figure things out for Edmonton for the better. So, and Calgary as well. Sure. We don't want to leave Calgary hanging. So yeah.
For sure.
I typically don't trust politicians in regards to, like, you know, when you see them out in the community and stuff, I'm kind of like, okay, you're here, you know, you're just, you know, you're only doing this because of what you want. But it was funny, like, I've seen Amarjeet Sohi over the years playing mass and
exactly,
and like literally just, you know, when we did the gig at CTV, man was there half naked, and I don't even know if it was known that he was running for mayor. He was running for mayor yet, but he's always been
not at the time.
He's always been politically connected, and I've always thought that if a person, like, I would say they're a little bit more trustworthy, a little bit more genuine if you see them when they're not running, right?
Exactly.
Like, don't come to my door, you know, when you're running. That's so, to me, that doesn't make any sense. It's like when you're out in the community, like, when you have nothing to gain and you're just out there because you want to see change. And I've always kind of felt that from politicians like him. So, and I also thought it was pretty cool that we have one that is known to our community.
Our community. Exactly.
So hopefully that means something good for us. That said, like, you know, he is South Asian, and Calgary's. She's South Asian as well, British born, and female. And I think all that stuff is cool. That says a lot about where Alberta is going. But to be honest, I don't really. The symbolism is cool, but I don't think that people should be there just because we want a black mayor, we want a black premier, prime minister, or whatever.
Of course.
You want people who could do the job well, and you want someone who's going to represent the people well, right? So,
of course.
So their political views do matter. Edmonton and Calgary have been left-leaning. It's been the rest of the province that have been more conservative. And hopefully people realize that, people who are left-leaning they usually believe in taxing, like their taxes may increase, social services may increase. So, like, as long as we know that, when you look at your property tax and you look at this and that, when you see construction in the city and all that, as long as we know that these are the things that they do and what they believe in, as long as we know. Because, it's like, people are excited when you see, like, the new person, and it's like, but wait, what the heck is this? And all of a sudden, we should stick with it,
Yeah.
Don't be fickle, and you need to know what their political stance is, not just the fact that it's not a white man, or, you know what I mean? Like, it hasn't been the way that it's been, the symbolic change. So, I'm just glad Ives is out too. I used to really like the guy, but I think this guy's been flopping. I thought he was flopping. So
yeah, we have some comments here. Aisha said Canada is diverse and elected officials should represent that. And Danny just popped up Greg's comment on the screen. It said it's not about Amarjeet. He has limited power. We need to have representation on city council. That is where the power lies. So,
true.
Yeah.
True. And a lot of those guys did some door knocking, and
they didn't come knocking on my door. No, I'm just kidding. But
well, I live out in the boonies, so they ain't knocking on my door. So
I'm just kidding. But yes.
No, the city council does. The city council does have a lot of power, and I noticed with some of the people that were running, they wouldn't actually say who they were endorsing for mayor. So
freezing here.
But there's a lot of times there's war. If you ever look at, like, Edmonton politics is Edmonton politics, but if you look, sometimes these big wars between the mayor and city council, because the two views can be opposed.
Very opposite. Yeah.
But if we voted and
did you guys vote? I mean, you don't have to disclose that information, but I'm just curious.
I can't vote for Edmonton, so.
Oh yeah, you're out.
So no.
You just drive in close enough to.
I definitely didn't do what I was supposed to, but I voted in the federal election. So yeah, did you guys vote for this past election or the federal election? Are you guys being good citizens and contributing to our
doing your job? I just want to say hello to, like, Greg and Aisha, and Mom is here, Mama June. Who else is in here? I think I saw Cheryl
was at the top as well.
Yeah.
Anyone else who's watching, welcome.
Welcome. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to say hello to our known viewers.
We gotta say hi to our people. So.
Yeah. So. Until we're waiting for I think I saw a comment come in.
There was when we talk about Canada being diverse, when we look at the actual statistics of the demographics, there's some areas where there's overrepresentation. When you talk about a country that we talk a country that might be like 80% white. Do you know what I mean? When when you have, like, one mayor, if you have one mayor that's not you know, that really tips the representation scales. Like if you have 2, you've overrepresented. Like if you have 5, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, this the I don't know if the numbers are accurate, but in Alberta, I think it's black people are like 3.5% of Alberta is black. 3.5%.
Really?
So,
wow.
You know what I mean? So when we're saying we need representation, and there's 100 people, if 4 of them are black, you're overrepresented, and a lot of times there could be more.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Never really thought of it like that, but
because if we're talking about representation, then you're talking about demographics, you're talking statistics.
Right.
I remember I was at gymnastics with my son one year, and I was like, man, we need more black children in gymnastics. And there was 50 boys. And there were 2 full black boys, and there were like 3 mixed boys out of this group of 50. Then there were a few Asian, a few like South Asian. And then I literally started doing the numbers. I was like, oh man, I bet we're overrepresented here when it comes to the population. We're actually overrepresented here. But, you know, when you just see the sea of it and you only see the 1 or the 2, you think, oh my gosh. But if we're only 4%, 3.5%, 4%, then the representation is.
Yeah, I've never really thought of it like that. Because even when you think about like work, like in the workplace too, you know, and then you're like, ooh, you know, where are we at? But then you're right. When you do kind of break it down and think about our population and the actual average, and you're like, dang, I guess we are represented, right?
But then there's a like a, what's the term? Like a multivariate analysis of, but when you started going to different scales, like when you start going into like STEM fields, or you start going into hospitality and all these other areas, and the different scales of wages, then you can, that's when you see like we're still sometimes on the lower end of earning power, and even in enrollments and different things like that. But if you look at the big picture, right, there's representation. But when you start going into like, okay, what are the top 5% of earners? And that's when you start to see it. But I think though, I think that when you start breaking it down, you get to see what the true numbers are, and they are being analyzed, but not really in Canada. You know, it's not as analyzed here.
That's interesting.
I'm just going to read a comment by Aisha. She said, it's like, oh, okay, there's someone I can relate to. Maybe I can do that too. The worst is feeling like I could never. Because look around. Who looks like me there? No one. Just knowing you would stand out alone can be intimidating and or discouraging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, I know I felt like that all through elementary and high school. So.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So Greg says you have to weight it based on areas, not provincial average. But here's the things. Like I said, here. So what I actually did was I looked at the average in Edmonton, and then I looked at the average in Calgary, and then the average in Alberta. So in Edmonton and Calgary, you're going to have way higher numbers of Black people, right? So, but even at that, it's 5%.
Right?
Because Edmonton and Calgary have 3 million or something like that of the population of Alberta, and then there's another million or so people all around in the rest of the province. So,
areas, yeah.
You know, the difference between 3.5 and 5, right? But we don't have that. We don't have the multivariate analysis when it comes to Black people the way that they do in like the United States. You know, so again, like if you're in Edmonton, if you're looking for representation out of 100 people, it might be 5 instead of 3.5. But even at that, a lot of the times we do hit those markers, because as time grows, a lot of us get in better positions. A lot of us are doing better than our parents did, We have more access than our parents did, and that is the natural cycle of things.
Mm-hmm. Greg says 4 out of 50 in Mornville is not the same as 4 out of 50 in Edmonton.
Definitely not.
But then you have to break it down. Then are you in Clairview, or are you in Clairview, or are you in Glenora, right?
Yeah.
So that's
CV. Yeah, CV gets a lot of hate, man. So I just needed to put that one.
Yo, CV, listen, give Clairview some love, man.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Give Clairview
was Edmonton before Edmonton.
It was.
Became Edmonton.
It was.
So.
Yeah, it was definitely.
CV.
So, what are your guys' red flags when it comes to any type of relationship?
Ooh, damn.
Just curious.
What do you mean?
Just curious.
That was quite the page flip there, Danny. Like
no segue, no segue at all. Like
no segue, just right in it.
No foreplay.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Dang, all right.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Greg's like, people come from Clairview. Wow.
Oh, shame.
Wow, the savagery. Oh my goodness.
If I could put people on timeout, I would.
Man, oh man. Okay, Danny, repeat your question. We got a little distracted there.
It's okay. Didn't mean to distract you. So what are your guys' red flags when it comes to any type of relationship? When it comes to like your partner, your friendship?
I don't know, man. Cause I'm kind of keeping away from those things these days.
Oh!
But I guess the reason being is because I guess there would be red flags, but I'm like trying to think of what my red flags are.
So what would be your main one that would be like, no, not.
There's been a lot of that stuff on IG. Everybody
that's the
like
meme.
50 red flags.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. So while Kiki's thinking, Tim, do you have any red flags?
Yeah, Tim. What's a red flag for you, buddy?
Okay, now okay.
Bad mind.
Okay. So hold on. A red flag when you're meeting somebody, getting to know somebody, or a red flag when you're already in the thing.
Ooh.
That's like, hey, he has a point.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man. I can't answer the question of.
So when you're already in it.
Lying.
Yes, I was gonna say that's
lying. Like don't lie. Like
okay.
Don't lie.
As they say, lie on the easy scale. Like I can't, especially about simple shit. Oops, sorry.
Okay.
Simple stuff.
Simple stuff.
There's some things that are, but here's the thing, man. Like, you know what? A lot of the times, it's not even the big red flags that mess up relationships. It's not even the big stuff. It's those little things that are ignored. You know, it's those you know, there's those little things. You know,
So the things you think you can
just navigate because the violins and cupids are flying and you just kind of pawn it off.
When you saw the red flag, clear as day from the beginning.
Yeah.
Greg says jealousy.
Jealousy. That's jealousy. Okay. Jealousy how? Because people are naturally jealous over people the
little things
they love. Like jealous. Like I find it's illogical jealousy. Like, you know what I mean? Or like accusing you of flirting, and you're just saying.
Yeah.
Flirting. I could see flirting as a red flag for
if it's actually flirting.
Well, see, that's the thing. It comes down to your perspective, because what you could consider flirting, someone else might not consider flirting, and vice versa, right? So, but I can see that being a red flag for people. Like, why are you talking to that kind of way, and yada yada yada.
Okay, so would it be a red flag if, like, say you and your partner went out for dinner and the waitress or waiter was hitting on your partner? Would you be jealous of that?
Because if it's
Okay.
if the waitress or
is
waiter,
putting on them.
if they're doing it to them, what
Yeah.
you want to see is them shut it down. Is if they revel in that attention and don't shut it down, it's like side eye.
I think it depends on the degree of reveling, because if you're like sitting there and it's like full on engaging in this flirting, but like, you know, if they like compliment them and they kind of, you know, like say something jokingly or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, he's mine though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would be okay with that kind of energy. Like I don't want to say the wrong thing here.
No, be real.
No. I'm just trying to say, like, you know, it's like, okay, like if someone like hits on someone you're with and you're there and you're like, oh yeah, like, it's mine though. Like they say thank you, or they say something, you know, cute back, but they're like, yeah, but I'm here with my girl kind of thing. Like that kind of vibe, right. I could handle that. But if it's like full on, like they're going out there and, you know, like
jealousy based on like insecurity is whack. That's not my problem.
True.
Like that's not my problem. Like Greg just said here, I've been with women who get mad because I have a lot of cute female clients. Like, see that? Yeah. It's like, that's not my problem. What am I supposed to do? Exactly. Hey, you're too cute. I can't work with you? Yeah. Come on, man. Like, you have to be, well, we as a partner, I think that we have something to do in regards to the how we validate and how we treat our partner so they feel safe and secure. Yes. You have to be doing that. But if you're doing that and you're intentional about it, and then you've spoke to your partner about what ways that you can help them. Like some people are like, I don't want to have to do this. That's not my, like, really? Like you should ask and find out how can I help you feel safe? And you know what I mean? Are there things or behaviors that bother you? You know what I mean? Like you.
Mm-hmm. There are people though who do a pretty good job of that, but then the other person just has those insecurities that.
And there's your red flag. Like there's your red flag. You're you know what I mean? You're doing the work. You're trying. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you've asked the questions. You've done those things, and then they have work to do. You know, they have work to do. You know.
Yeah. I actually, now that I'm
whoa. Is that I ain't here to baby people? What do you mean? So wait, having that conversation is that babying? Is that babying?
To Greg it is.
Okay, Greg need to bring Greg on. Greg, you got your camera.
Greg, you ready?
Yo, this is my thing about relationships, right? Like if you like listen, I know I've had there's casual relationships, right? Mm-hmm. Where hopefully you're upfront and you're saying, look, I'm not looking for anything but XYZ. But then there's like you're in a real relationship where your goal is to potentially be like a life partner, right? I don't think that there's like you're talking about the rest of your life. You're talking about the rest of somebody else's life. Hopefully, there's serious conversations that need to be had, and especially when you start getting up at our age. We're not like 22 and well, there's Kiki, but anyways,
you're not. Wait, hold up. I am not 22. Okay. I am past the age of 25.
She's kissing 30.
And then some. So.
But I'm just saying, by the time by the time you get over like my age, right? Mm-hmm. When it comes to relationships, there's likely some trauma, or at least there's some things to unpack. There's you've been through, and so you hopefully know where you kind of know where you're at. You know the things that bother you, and you might have triggers based on some of the things that you've dealt with previous partners, right? And I think that we can't be obtuse to that when we're dealing with people. You know, I think we should be mindful of that. And like, as a partner, you want to be mindful of that, and you want to let them know, I get it that you got some stuff, but I'll work with you. You know, let me know, what can I do? Yeah, like Greg said, having the same convo 10 times. No, you don't want to have the conversation because it's not getting anywhere. But you should have the conversation. I find if you're dealing with somebody and they don't want to have hard conversations about the relationship, like, oh, so you're just going to go Care Bear your way through, like, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's a red flag. Oh, no, we're good. We love each other. We'll be fine. No, you won't. Like,
yeah.
Not this stage of the game, no.
A lot of like the memes and stuff that I've seen was more like superficial stuff, like, oh, like she can't cook, like he doesn't have a whip, like, that sort of thing, which I think a lot of that too is probably just people being funny. But there are some people out there where things like that do bother them. Like if they get with a dude who, doesn't have a car, or, isn't making a certain amount of money, they're like, nope. Done deal. Sort of like a deal breaker type thing, but
So speaking about making money, if you guys were together and you, I don't know, a guy that or a girl that makes more money than your current partner, would you leave your partner to go to that person that makes more?
Wait a minute.
If we're happy, no. If you're already on the rocks, I mean, some people would if they're already on the rocks. I'm not saying for me personally. I'm just saying if for some people, if you're already in a relationship, that's, already on the rocks, things aren't really going too well. And then someone comes along and, can maybe show you a different vibe. You might be you might be inclined to give it a shot and see. But I would hope it wouldn't just be for the money. For some people, it is. Some people are at that stage in their life where it is about the money. Like they don't care about anything else. It's just they want to be comfortable. They want to have certain experiences and gain certain things. And so the money talks. But no, I don't think most people would do that. But I don't know. But yeah.
I think that you should never be leaving one person for another person. I think you need to be leaving a relationship because this relationship doesn't serve you or this relationship isn't healthy. Because if you're leaving, a lot of times if you're leaving one person for the other, you're missing. You're likely missing. You're only seeing what the other person has that your partner doesn't, and you're not necessarily going to see the. You're not going to necessarily see some of the things that they don't, that the new person doesn't have. A lot of times we leave the 80 for the 20,
Right.
That happens often. So you need to be, if you're going to be exiting, you should be exiting just because, hey, this thing doesn't, Craig, man.
Okay, I gotta post this. I gotta find it.
Oh my God, help! But no, you're kind of right. But still,
wow.
Yo, it is definitely a Band-Aid. Oh, I know you tried to run me over with your car, but man, that was a great night.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. But what if that Band-Aid isn't really there in the relationship? Is that a red flag? No, like physical intimacy in a relationship. Is that considered
That's a huge.
I'm just going based off of Greg's comment here because he said good sex cures all relationship problems, which I'd say a lot of toxic relationships usually revolve around that. Like they're like, yeah, we'll just they like to use that Band-Aid, but it's really not doing anything. So but yeah, do you guys consider that a red flag?
If there's if you don't have sexual intimacy and sexual chemistry, you have a brethren. Like you have a bud. You know what I mean? Like
you have a brethren.
No, seriously.
You do.
No, I get it. It's just funny how he said it. Okay, it's just funny how he said it.
What's the difference between really, really good a really, really good friend and a really, really great partner. It's usually, it's like they're super close. Good friend is super close. Partner super close. Add sex to the friendship. There you go. You have, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's the sex is that thing that like separates, like, hey, bud, punch in the arm. And like,
okay, so let me throw a wrench into this. What if you guys are good friends, the sex is good, but you don't want a relationship?
Mm-hmm. Well then,
you got to bridge and benefits. Like, I don't know.
Well, Greg said there is difference between intimate sex and ground and pound, and I've never heard
this
ground
man
and pound before.
Just say ground and pound.
Wow. I've never actually heard that term before, but
neither have I.
I actually kind of like that. It's funny, which is why I like it. But okay. Oh, Greg said that's a booty call. He said that's a booty call. Aisha said toxic is hot. So okay, Aisha, you like the toxic vibes? I can't do toxic.
I can't do toxic. I can't.
Nah, man.
I can't. I'm too old for that.
No, like
no one should have to endure toxic in a relationship.
No one should, but
honestly, I've been seeing it a lot. People, I've been seeing it a lot, and it's coming from girls.
That's because social media is like.
Well, Aisha just said she likes toxic, so maybe they're doing that for a reason. Maybe they're bringing toxic to the relationship to.
Why?
In some
Aisha, why?
Spice things up. I'm not saying this is necessarily Aisha, but I have seen people like that, or people that you know of and stuff who kind of feed off of that toxicity. They crave that because it makes the relationship feel more exciting and passionate.
Can I
think that's messed up.
Can I just throw a wrench in, or do I throw this? Yeah. I'm just gonna throw a word in. Trauma.
Yeah.
Well, that's
drama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people feel at home in chaos because chaos is all they've known.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? That's chaos is all they've known. When you're sitting there and you're like normal, you're sitting there. It's all it's just like, hey, honey, how's it going? It's like, what kind of normal, boring stuff is this? Hey, honey, want me to make you a coffee? What the heck? How come a pot isn't being thrown? Like, no, man. A lot of the times it's a trauma thing. You know what I mean? Like, or people are actually bored and they get used to the rush, and they like that rush because, again, and I think that's what she's referring to, is that there is a rush. There's a rush in that, but anytime that you're looking, but rush is a novelty. And one of the nasty things about human psychology is that novelties wear off, and it usually has to get, it has to get stronger. It has to get deeper. One day it's this. Now you get bored of that, and it has to get worse, and it just and it cycles. So that's the problem with trauma and toxicity. You need to. Like, you got to get used to normal. Like, normal is subjective, but
right,
for sure. But you know what I mean? Like, you can't get turned. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't want to get too. But there's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot. Like, you don't want to be boring, but you also don't want to be like arrested.
Why not, man? Bonnie and Clyde vibes.
No. I got security clearance, so yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Danny, red flags for you.
Lying, not being honest.
Okay.
It's my red flag.
And with the whole partner thing, would you?
No.
Okay. You wouldn't go to the other dude with
No. If that other dude wants to pay my bills, cool.
Yeah, but then what is he getting in return? There's no way that guy's just gonna be like, I'm gonna pay your bills while you're with some other man, and
You make them think that they're getting
There's
something when they're not.
nothing in it for him, right?
That's what sugar daddy's for.
Oh gosh.
Oh Lordy. Oh,
Listen, man. But I heard a quote: the longer you stay in what doesn't serve you, the longer you put off what will. You know,
it's very true.
Yes.
It's very
you got to
true.
make room for the things that you actually want, if you actually know what you want.
Yeah.
I like that you added that. If you know what you want, because if you don't know what you want.
At what age do you think you should know what you want in a relationship? Or do you think you're always learning?
That's a good question.
I don't think there's an age. I just think that before you... Go on.
No, I was going to say, because for me, like, you know, I'm a bit younger than you guys, but...
About a bit.
What? What? Why are y'all hating on my age today? Anyway.
It's not me, it's Tim.
Like solid high school when you were born. Solid.
Oh my God.
That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying, you know, I am in my late 20s now. And yeah, I think I know what I want. Like, and at this point in time, I'm not really about the games. I've never really been about the games, though, to be honest, even when I was younger. So, but I think that's just a me thing. That's just...
Oh, so you stopped playing games? Oh, that's awesome.
Whatever. I was never really one for games, to be honest. I don't like the BS. A lot of people know that about me. And you know what? Maybe that's why I haven't been in as many serious relationships. Serious. I'll put in quotations serious. Yeah. Or no, I'll just say relationships. Because I know a lot of people my age, you know, like once there was some interest, it's like, oh, this is my man, this is my girlfriend, or whatever. And then it was like on to the next. But I never went that route. I've never gone that route. And I think it is because I've always kind of known, or I know what it is that I want. But I do still think that, you know, doesn't really matter the age, whether you're 17 versus 27 or 40 or whatever the case may be, that you'll always still learn something along the way, if that makes sense. Yeah, especially if you're still like out in the dating world, because you are meeting so many different people, or you know, meet different people. I feel like it doesn't matter what age, because that person hopefully will bring something new to the table. Hopefully it'll be something positive. If it's not, you're still learning something from it. So I feel like it doesn't really matter what age you're at, you'll still kind of get something from it. But I don't think that there's an exact time that you can pinpoint and be like, yo, this is what I know exactly what I want. I know a lot of people, once they get out of their 20s, just because of experiences and life and different things, that they'd say, like, you know, when I'm kind of in my 30s, that's when they would want to settle down. So that's when people would say, hey, I think I know what I want. But a lot of people get to that point and then realize what they think they thought they wanted isn't actually what they wanted once they get into it. So so
100%.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Aisha said she hates dating.
Oh.
Aisha also said, I think the earlier you know, the better your chances at attaining it.
I think
Greg
that's
says,
very
why
true.
the rush?
Yeah.
Well, there's factors in the rush. There's more rush for some than others.
Right.
You know, if you want to have
family, if you want to have
family,
kids,
you want to.
Some people, I don't want to say settle, but
it's one of those things that it's a pretty big marker in your life and into the things you want to do and accomplish. It's one of those things that can be a big deal.
Yes.
But if you're rushing, like say you have a
I don't
timeline,
think rushing
like,
is ever good.
Married. Okay, I was gonna say, because if someone has a timeline like I want to be married and have kids by 27, but you're with the wrong person. But a lot of people
do that.
They do that, then they end up divorced.
Yes.
Exactly.
Or very unhappy. Yeah. Man.
So.
Like what? 50% of people?
Oh, I would say even more than that.
In Japan, the big number is 25 for women. So I guess there's no hope for me.
Ooh.
Oh,
since I'm over 25, by the way, and I'm not 22
and
or
not,
18,
and
Greg.
not
I
in
saw
Japan.
that comment earlier.
And not in Japan.
Although I do really want to go to Japan.
Me too.
So trip 2022?
Top places.
Easy there.
Let's be real in Japan.
Yeah.
Find someone to sponsor it, and I'm there.
All right, working on it.
You heard that, Greg?
I just said life is also short, which is true, because
true,
I feel like in this day and age, especially like my generation, because like back in the day it was like, a lot of people would have kids in their early 20s and whatever. Now a lot of people are having kids later, like after university, after they achieve certain things and stuff. But like Aisha said, life is so short. You're hearing all these crazy things in the world now. It's not like how it was when it was like, a lot of people were dying when they're older. Now it's like kids are dying and people my age dying. Like it just seems like it doesn't really matter the demographic now. Like death isn't just for old people. You know what I mean? I mean, there were young people who were always dying, but like now I feel like there's so much more going on in the world that like if it's for you, it's for you at this point. It doesn't matter. So I feel like life is short. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tricky one. Yeah. Because I've had conversations with people like my age, and we're still like figuring things out, but it is kind of like in the back of your mind, kids want to have kids one day or want to have a family and that sort of thing. And it's like, but it's not quite on the horizon. It's not like there yet. So it's kind of like, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like your journey is your journey. There shouldn't be any rush. I would hope, when people want to have kids, it'd be like at a time of their choosing. It doesn't always work out that way. But yeah, I don't know.
I think that
so many factors play into this topic. So
children should be the byproduct of a really dope, loving relationship.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean?
And that's emphasis on the dope part.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you want to
a really good partnership, and you but not just I just want to have a baby, and then you're just gonna go make it with anybody. My God.
Some people do that.
Well, obviously,
that's okay. But yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And it's like even from myself, my life, the trajectory that I was on, and the path I was on, to some major detours. But I feel that I'm the best that I've ever been, right? And so there's gonna be things that don't necessarily work the way that you want it to, and you could chart a course, and it may not go the way that you want it to. But if you're focused on growing and learning, you can things should and can work out. Yeah. And I've just found that, and it's when you really when you're focused on being the best version of yourself, you do begin to attract better things to yourself. You get yourself into better company. You exude more that keeps the right things in your environment, right? And I really believe that. I really believe that. I remember saying, like, especially at the end of 2019, 2020, I was like, man, I'm turning this ship around,
right?
Because there was some, you could think that you learned something, and then you'll go through something and you'll realize how much more work there is to do, right? And I remember, like, I seen it, so, like, you clean up your kitchen. It's not done. Like, you're going to use something and you got to clean it again. You always have to be doing.
Yes.
There's always work. And so
that's life. Yeah. There's always work. I like that. There's always work. There's always work. Especially when the world is evolving at the rate that it's evolving. You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be situations, or things that come about, example, this pandemic, that's going to force you to do the work and force you to make some changes. So, yeah, I love the way you worded that, Tim.
And I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah, I think that's a good message to end with. There's always going to be work.
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna say that was our first episode of season 2.
Season 2, episode 1 is in the books, everybody. And thank you for joining us.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, Real Navy. We're happy to be back. And it's going to be an exciting season.
That's right.
Yeah, that's for sure. So until next week, Wednesday, enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the soon-to-be weekend.
Bless up.
Yes. Continue to stay safe and take care.
Stay safe, yeah.
You know.
If there's stuff that you guys want to talk about, just
let us know.
Feel free to message or just post it on the page, whatever.
Yeah.
Send us a
comment.
Text, an email.
Send us exactly.
Email, exactly. All right. So on that note, have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.